And I guess Reg Goods, he's there in the front row. He's been around for a couple of whiles as well. I know you don't know too much about the forwards there, Peter, but they tell me he is a punish to room with.
Look, they're all the stories you want to hear, especially on Bar TV. You know, I don't think rooming with any front rowers is a good thing, but to be known as a punish, that's not a good thing to have on your CV.
Yes, and of course, all the big names, I guess, they're being rested in this first trial. Of course, no Barrett, Corey Jane, Sevilla, Milner Scudder as well. He's not here. But I tell you what, this Hurricanes lineup, it still looks pretty slick.
I think what you look at in New Zealand rugby is the opportunities they've given to their young guys, and there certainly won't be any shortage of talent out there for the Wellington Hurricanes. So, as I've said, look, it's going to be a cracking game, and hopefully we can see some shining stars for Wellington. Yes,
definitely. We go now to the Western Force side. Looking pretty good. Nearly full strength here too, so you'd expect the Western Force to come out firing here for this coverage with the Force versus the Hurricanes. I'm looking forward, to see Maffei to come out and play. He's been away for a couple of years.
Yeah, look, starting from the front row, that front row is very experienced, and Nathan Charles, having played with him quite a bit, he hasn't played a lot of footy in recent months, so this would be a great opportunity for him. Guy Miller probably makes his starting debut for the Western Force, which is a great opportunity. Then you move into the backs with Grant and Godwin. Those two there together, I think that's going to be an indication of how well the Force go this year.
Yes, and of course Pryor as well. He's one of the better performed halfbacks in the Bill Corp NRC, which of course you're a big part of as well. He can score points from all over. Good running and good passing game.
There's a few guys coming through here as the Force use that as an opportunity to blood a lot of players. So throughout this whole Western Force team, it'll be interesting to see how those NRC guys translate into this Super Rugby intensity.
Yeah, definitely. And Nakoro, I mean, he has absolute jet shoes. He's come over from the Auckland Blues as well. Very quick, very deceptive on his feet. All the traits you want in a winger, Peter.
Yeah, definitely. Well, about 15 years ago, I could display those. But in terms of what I saw in the warm-up, they're looking to spread the ball wide. In terms of the wingers, I'm really looking forward to seeing how they bob up. You know, that's going to be, in these tough games, to see how the wingers get involved is between winning and losing, I believe.
Yes, and talking coach Michael Foley as well, it's a platform they built from the end of last year, going through the NRC and, of course, into these trials, into the super season. They're looking to really throw the ball around this year and make good on the backline that they've got.
Michael Foley's got a very particular style, so it'll be interesting to see if he changes his way after reviewing last season. It's a really pivotal year for the Force. If they can get it right with the team they've got, you know, this is their real chance to make a finals plunge.
Yes, Steph. Expect plenty of things of him. He's hard-working, he's all-purpose. Anything you want from a big blade, I guess. The kitchen knife, I think they call him, Peter.
Be very interesting to see how he goes.
Yeah, very good. And as we see the bench there, stacked full of superstars and up-and-comers for this Hurricane side. And now, as we see the Force coming out, led by Pat Cowan. Of course, Pat Cowan, one of the more formidable names in this Force side. 105 caps, made his debut in 2006. And someone after our own hearts, weighing in at 116 kilos, Peter.
Yeah, I'm catching him at a fast rate, so I'll have a chat to him after the game and see how he holds it with his shoes.
So, of course, for all our new viewers out there for Bar TV Sports across Australia and New Zealand, the Force playing in the white. The Hurricanes playing in the yellow jersey. It'll be the Force to kick off with the Hurricanes running towards the Brisbane water end, the standless end, I think they call it, here in the Central Coast in Gosford. And there's Chris Alcock there. A hard-working breakaway, hard-working loose forward. Peter?
Right.
Yeah, we'll stick to talking to the backs for a little while here as the game kicks off.
There we go, the referee just making sure everyone's okay. So kickoff comes now. It's long, it's deep. Nicely taken there. Little short side play was on. No, they come forward over the 22 here, the Hurricanes. And the ball passed one off. A little bit disjointed early on.
Onside.
We hear the referee calling onside. The ball comes back to Black and it goes all the way. And that's a nice clearing kick there, Peter.
Yeah, showing their hand early, you know, a little bit round the rucks. You know, nice clearance out. So looking forward to the first line out.
As Nathan Charles will be the man in charge here with the throw. Of course, how important is the force to get this line out right early on? And Pryor juggles it at the back. Oh, comes out very close to an inner step. And nicely taken forward there by Godwin. Pryor now looking to use the ball wide, and that's a good run there. Coleman it was in the 5. Ball goes to the short side. Inside ball. Nicely done. They're playing good direction here, Peter.
Yeah, I'm liking what they're doing early. The running is quite direct and quite hard, so if they can keep this up as we speak, the ball goes behind, but they've worked themselves through a penalty. Much better penalty in the middle of the field. Yeah,
nice penalty there in the middle of the field, and the ball by Pat Cowan just going to ground. Of course, playing the playmaker's role. Something you always like to see from a front rower, Peter.
I think it's what the game's asking at the moment. Look, they're showing their intention to go wide to wide. So the direct running in between that'll help them lay that platform.
So Peter Grant with the ball back. Well, he's in the Force colours for this year. Of course, they'll be looking for him to control the play, control it. He adds a bit of stability here to this Force back line, Peter.
Yeah, field position's so key, and he's got a huge kick. So if he can control them inside the attacking 50, the Force could have a really promising year.
Of course, he's back up. John O'Lance as well. He had a very good Bill Corp NRC season, and that's a nice flat ball. Stander it was, taking them forward. And again, there's a little gap opened up, but taken round the bootlaces there, and here he is, Grant, working the short side. Still going here. This is good stuff here by the Force. They're playing forward, playing direct. So now, here's Godwin. Godwin finding Bracky. Bracky standing at 190 centimetres. You can't miss him. Playing in the outside centre is, and here's a good run here. Can he get the ball away? No, he can't. Cottrell it was. Here's Grant again. Holding the ball up. Miller taking a solid run forward. Ball comes to short side, inside ball. Here's Coleman again. He's had plenty of work to do so far. The Force, they're beckoning. They're running. Taken nicely forward by Grant. He can't get the ball away to Cowan. I thought it was around the corner then, Peter.
Yeah, look, they're reloading really well both sides of the field, which is giving Grant and Godwin lots of opportunities to find a runner. So if they can keep this up, points aren't far away.
And this is good control again. Godwin has it. Godwin runs forward. He's isolated as they come through on the ball here, the Force. Grant with a little short ball there to Charles. Charles taken nicely and solely. Oh, Maffey has it. He's through. He's got the arm away. Can Pryor get there? Unloads. Coleman. Coleman has scored early on. What a try to Coleman, and great lead-up work by the Force, Peter.
Some really key passages of play there. What I've noticed is their breakdown is really clinical, enabling the players around them to create extra men. So, and the good support play out the middle, that's a great start for the Super 16 season.
Yes, definitely. And the coach, Michael Foley, before the game said they were going to use it through the hands. Play to a bit of structure, but definitely, I guess, let the 10 and 12 use the ball, and they've done that really well there.
The 10s are catching really long and playing early, enabling people to back up and enabling people to reload on the short side and the open side. So if they keep this up, it's going to be a very high point scoring game.
As we look at the replay here again, nicely taken there. He keeps his feet. We haven't seen much of him early on, but the big arm comes free, and Pryor backing up as he always does. And again, another good pop pass there to Coleman, who has been immense early on, Peter.
I haven't seen Adam Coleman this big. So I heard he's done a huge pre-season, so this should be a great start for him this year.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like he's not only put on weight, he's grown a foot or two as well.
During the game.
He's just matured. Of course, that red dust will do that to you over there. Any of the kids listening out there, if you go over to Western Australia, Perth, get some red dirt on you and you might grow a foot or two. And now the Hurricanes here, what can they do? Can they come back with something early on? Black has the ball for the restart. It'll be nice, flat, decent kick, wasn't it? Oh, just spilling the ball there. Cottrell won't be happy with that one, Peter.
No, but in terms of the set piece coaches, this is going to be the first scrum of the season. So This is what we've been waiting for. The Australian scrum was really strong in the World Cup last year, and it's a big focus point for all the Super Rugby teams getting a good platform. So this will be interesting to watch.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess the experience of the foresight up front versus, I guess, a little bit of inexperience here from the Hurricanes as well. As we see them getting down, getting set early here, the force. This is the stuff dreams are made of, Peter.
Certain dreams, yes.
Certainly not a winger's dream.
No, you're right there.
So the ball coming out now. Nice flat ball there. Hello, hello. It was there. Nice flat ball again. The gap opens up the force defence. Not too good there was the captain Shields. Inside ball now, Goods. I'm surprised they actually cleaned him out there. No one wants to hang around him, rooming with him. And here's a gap here. Good support by the Hurricanes. They're building themselves here, so a mirror image of what happened up the other side of the field there by the force, Peter.
Yeah, they're playing a very similar style. They're working hard round the corner, putting the force under enormous pressure defensively, and it's leading to a few misses, which is early nerves, but you know it's a great style of footy so far.
So 5 metres out. This is another set piece that the set piece coach dreams of, isn't it? The driving maul, Peter. Talk us through it.
Look, a lot of work goes into it, and it's a very powerful play if you can get it right. So let's see if they can pull this off.
So they come up, they set nicely. Well defended by the force, though. They're still on their feet. It's at the back. They're just getting realigned here. The Hurricanes, can they drive forward? The force defending really well here on their line as they come for the second surge. Advantage called by the referee. They're still up here, the Hurricanes. They've been pushed over now. Well defended. It's going to be a penalty, though. So do you think we'll see a replay of the same play?
Yeah, definitely. You know, they held that well early on. You know, the force defended well, but they maintained their structure, and, you know, we'll go straight back to that again.
Looks like they may have chosen the scrum option here, Peter, which is an interesting one. Player down. As we look at the replay, we see the advantage being played. Ball just popping out of the back there.
Yeah, it's a really interesting play because, you know, that first scrum showed a bit of parity, and the force front row is really experienced. So, you know, if I was out there, I'd be definitely kicking to the line and backing my rolling maul.
Well, I guess it is a Super Rugby trial match, so they obviously want to test out their scrum, get it working in game conditions. How important are match conditions as opposed to, I guess, an opposed training session?
Yeah, very, very hard to replicate it. You know, just the intensity of the collisions just goes up a level, and yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how these guys can keep it up for the 80 minutes.
So scrum set now. Triple T with the ball. Tahu Rarangi.
He's already a crowd favourite. I can just sense it.
Definitely. If they're not chanting Triple T back home in New Zealand right now, they certainly haven't got into the game just yet. Of course, we do say hello to our New Zealand viewers on Bar TV Sports. Of course, if you want to get into the game, it's hashtag Bar TV Sports or hashtag 4VHUR for Hurricane. Her. Of course, tweet us in and let us know. It's Triple T with the ball now. He's wrestled down to the ground. Taken off the back. It's going to be close. Pulled up short. Good desperation defence there by the force. As it comes out. Goods it is. The ball now with Black. Wide ball. Oh, it's a clanger out on the far touchline. It's going to be played advantage, though. Great defence coming off his wing. It was Morahan on the far side as they take the quick tap. It's close again. There's a man injured down in back play. It's Woodward, the fullback.
That was a great play by Luke Morahan. Saw he was under pressure, came out, made an incredible hit, and Woodward's feeling it now.
That is already on the highlight reel for Super Rugby season, Peter Playford.
That's the hit of the year, I'd say.
I'll tell you what, back in your day, did they hit like that? As the ball comes out the back, it's going to be close. Knock on, says the referee.
My day was more a bit like on stag, so it's way too early.